Welcome back to the Set of the Podcast. I'm your host, Victor, along with my co-host, Mark.
Yo,
How are you guys doing today? How are you, Mark?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right.
All right.
Did you listen to Late Registration? Damn. You got a playlist for me? Damn. Okay. We just gonna keep on rocking and rolling. All right.
I did want to talk about something though that happened within the last couple days.
Oh? You're pregnant.
No, not that. Not yet. No, it was just a couple movies that I've watched recently, and I just wanted to let you know, and tell you how they were.
Okay.
Also, first, actually, I wanted to let you know because I know you're a big fan of the whole Dragon Ball Z and Fortnite collab. What do you think about that?
I saw that it was Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, and then Bulma.
Bulma, yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah,
I mean, but,
they had to get a woman character.
Yeah.
Because people are gonna probably feel some type. I mean, I would have put there's different there's actually a woman Super Saiyan now in Dragon Ball
cool.
Super. So I feel like it would have been better to put her in there.
Or you could have put one of the androids, the woman.
Also true. I feel like that would have been tough.
Yeah, right.
Like Android 18,
Yeah.
with the vest and shit, from back in
Yeah,
the. I feel like that would have been better. But Bulma's iconic.
Yeah,
They could have
she's
picked the
better.
older Bulma though. They picked the one a recent one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I've seen a lot of cool things you can do. They have
Fusion.
Nimbus, they have that, and they had Kami's house in there too. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool.
I might get it.
I
I missed out on Naruto, so I might get this one.
I might buy every costume. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I just think it's insane to see how I wouldn't say how far it's come, but just the amount of characters. I remember I saw a screenshot of someone said who would have thought, and it's literally Naruto, Goku, Darth Vader, and freaking Rick. Why? That makes no sense.
And then there's it used to be the biggest thing for us was Thanos was in this shit because the
that
Avengers.
Shit was hilarious.
That was the biggest thing.
Yeah, that shit
and now
was
there's
hilarious.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson's in there. I'm pretty sure John Cena's in there.
John Cena.
Fucking Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak in there.
That's so crazy. Freaking Master Chief from freaking Halo. You just got all these different characters. You're just damn. I think it's supposed to be Tom Holland, from Nathan Drake, and then also freaking the superheroes, all that shit. Yeah, it's insane.
Spider-Man, they had the glove, Spider-Man glove and all that shit.
Crazy, bro.
Now the Kamehameha is a fucking weapon. People are getting.
I saw a
with
clip,
that.
and people was oh yeah, I did this jaw and in the air and got the win. Bull just shot that jaw across the map. I was like, damn. I mean, that's kind of tough though, but yeah, awesome. But yeah, I wanted to talk about a movie that I've watched recently that I thought, me watching it, I never would think of ever watching it up by myself. So I watched it with my girl, and it's an old movie. I finally watched Gossip Girl.
Okay.
Yeah, let me tell you, man, there's some mean girls out there. There's
it's another good movie.
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, wait. Was it Mean Girls? Which one was it? I think it was Mean Girls, actually.
Oh.
That's the one it was. My fault.
You never watched Mean Girls before?
I never watched Mean Girls.
What? Okay. What are your thoughts? Now that it's a 20-year-old movie.
Exactly. But I the thing. I can't believe there is some Mean Girls. That was the whole thing. Yeah, man, I tell you.
It's an iconic movie.
It is, but I just never watched it. I don't know. I just was never in, the household, or again, I do have sisters, but they're all
really
older, so I just never actually lived with them, and I never got a chance to watch it. So yeah, I watched Mean Girls, and yeah, it was a pretty interesting movie. It was kind of funny too. What I will say is that, man, it's funny watching an old movie because jokes they say you just cannot say now. Man. It's just so funny, bro. There was the one part where she's at the party, finally trying to meet with the ex-boyfriend of the leader of the group. And then the leader of the group stops him, and she's talking to him, basically trying to do that whole thing of just oh, I still like you even though I broke up with you, because she knows the other girl likes her. And then she's just oh, don't worry. I know she's socially retarded. And I was just yo, what? I was bro, no way she said that shit. It just caught me so off guard because I was not expecting to see that in a movie, especially in a teen related movie. But bro, that caught me so off guard, bro.
And the cast is like stacked too. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot of people and there was like, oh shit, like
Yeah, I would not have known they were in there. I was like, oh shit, look who's in here, you know? But
like even now you have like from the most recent like the Doctor Strange movie, like Rachel McAdams, whatever. Like she's in Mean Girls. Like all those years
exactly.
ago, she was like.
Exactly, that's her. That's why it's just like, wow, I cannot believe it, you
You
know?
got Lindsay Lohan, you got Tina Fey in there.
Yep.
Some of the teachers are like have done other movies as well. I think one of the teachers in that movie is from Grown Ups as well. Like he was in Grown Ups.
Yeah, he's one of the on the other team as far as like the dads and stuff like that. Yeah, he's the principal, I believe. Yeah, he was funny too. I'm trying to remember a part, I think. And I think it was at the end when they like all the girls got sent to the locker room. Oh no, it was before that. He was in the hallway, and I think a girl kind of like hit him, and he was just like, "Hey, hell no, I ain't dealing with this shit," and just like hit the fire alarm. I was like, well, "What the hell?" Like shit like that is just like, man, I find that shit so funny, bro. And I'm like, damn. But yeah, I finally watched Mean Girls, and I was just like, yeah, it's a good movie. Lindsay Lohan and whatnot, you know.
There's a reason why that shit's been like even up to now, people still love that shit.
Yeah, she's like my girl. Like I watched it with her, and she's just like she would just laugh at certain moments, and she's just like, bro, like these scenes are just so iconic. Like that's just like she'll like remember it word for word, and I'm just like, damn. I remember that one scene that everybody used to, and it was like, oh yeah, it's October 3rd.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I've seen that before, and I didn't know it was from here. So yeah, wow. But yeah, I was watching Mean Girls, and it was a good movie, I would say, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I get why like you can't make those jokes today, but it's like a part of us that I guess since we grew up in it, it's just like, oh, like what is it doing? Like because we watched like Rush Hour is like bad.
Exactly.
Like for today's standards, like they cannot make Rush Hour. And if they did, it would be ass because it's missing all the parts that made Rush Hour great.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like bootway, matway, matway.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. There's so many things in Rush Hour 2 that are just like that. And that's why I'm like, bro, I don't know. Like, I feel the same way. Like, it's not that like I don't understand why we can't say it. It's just that like we grew up with it, and when we do hear it, it's funny because it's something you would not expect. You know,
a donkey's lips do not fit in a horse's mouth.
Like you would not expect it. And to like put a script where you know like if somebody's upset they're just gonna say the typical shit, you know, and you're just like, oh okay. But for me to hear that shit and she said that shit about her, I was like, bro, no way she said that shit. Like, so I know she's socially retarded, and I was like, what? But yeah, that was a good movie for sure.
Or even like I don't know, even people try to analyze that shit. I'm like yo, it's just funny. Like it's cool to laugh at things. That's what like comedy is for, that sense of just taking something serious and making it somewhat enjoyable or tolerable.
Exactly.
Where it's just like, I just laid down with a bald Frenchman. He's like, I am a woman.
Yeah.
And they will try to kill me if they know who.
Oh man, shit, Rush Hour 3, man.
Or even just like the French guy making fun of Americans. It's like that shit's still funny. Like
exactly.
It's like let me kill somebody tonight.
Like it's that idea that it's like I feel like everybody has that little bit inside them where they just want to say some out of pocket shit, but they know they can't.
Yeah.
But it's like as long as I feel like it doesn't hurt anybody, you know. But again, people always say it does and all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does extend to a certain point though, where it's just like, come on. Like
that's what I would say. Like if you're constantly like coming at something like deliberately, is like, okay, there's a reason. And I'm not gonna lie, there was kind of like that a bit in Mean Girls, because they kept talking about just being gay and just lesbian, and I was just like, hey yo, like why is, bro, like within like the first 15 minutes I swear there was like a gay joke like 3 times. I was like, bro, it's only been like 10 minutes. Like why is this like the main theme right now?
Yeah.
But yeah,
when you think about those, like that movie, or like there was a lot of like around that time, there was a lot of those similar, like there's like Mean Girls, there's like the American Pie movies, like shit like that, where just like that was just every 5 seconds, like those type of jokes.
Yeah, but again, like I said, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Another movie I was gonna like bring up is, I don't know if you saw it, but it was a really good movie, Bullet Train.
I haven't yet. Somebody. I saw the trailer because I went to the movies a couple of times like in recent months, and I kept seeing the trailer. I'm like, yo, like I really want, like I kind of want to see this movie. Like it looks good. And then I seen somebody post like, yo, like Bullet Train was ass. Like Bad Bunny disappointed me. That I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about?
Don't let that, you know, get you upset. Because I saw somebody that posted about it, and they were like, "Oh, this movie is literally garbage, so
Yeah.
terrible," and a lot of it was just because of Bad Bunny, and I'm just like, bro.
He's not an actor.
He's not even so much an actor. It's like the movie's not based off of him. Like I could understand if it was based off him and it was just like downhill, like terrible, but it's not based off of him.
Is it? It seems more like it's just like people who only went to see the movie for him, and now they're butthurt that there was actually there's actually the rest of a like whole other cast involved.
That is literally the exact reason why everybody who saw it and was just going for him are upset, was just because of that. And again, I would say I totally disagree. I felt like yeah, you know, it was cool and all that. Like he did his thing, you know. I would love to see it again for sure, but like there's just a whole other part of the movie that I thought was just like, yo, this is good too. Like,
and had the dude from Rush Hour in there too. Lee's brother.
Yes, yeah.
I remember seeing that and shit, like, oh shit. I'm
yeah.
like,
yeah, he's when I saw him too, I was just like, bro, like it's so cool. Like he's in so many movies, you know, that, you know, he takes place in. But yeah, I feel like the cast in that, like you said, is like stacked. Like when I mean to tell you there's so many actors, actresses in there, I'm just like, damn, like it was such a good movie. Like a lot of people, you know, they say they didn't like it, but I'm like, bro, I thought it was good. Like the concept of it was just good. When I mean to tell you, like the storytelling in there is just like amazing. Like you're gonna have to like keep up because like there's so many things that just like left and right. But yeah,
and there's fucking Brad Pitt.
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
How can you be mad at Brad Pitt?
You can't, you know, and his acting is so good too. He's just playing just like almost like a regular guy, you know. He's not, but it's just like the way he just goes about things and just his demeanor is just like, yo, it's a funny guy. Funny guy. But yeah. Bullet Train was really good. I would definitely recommend it.
It seems like he's being more selective with what movies he does, but when he comes out, like it's like good.
Yeah.
I know, what was it? Before this, I think the last movie that he was in was like the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood shit.
Probably. I didn't see that movie.
It's like a long ass movie, but like it's him, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Like
I remember when it came out. I was like going to try to see it, just never ended up happening. But yeah, dude, that does seem like probably the last movie he was in. But yeah. Definitely a good movie. I'll definitely recommend seeing that.
All right, I'm gonna have to go give it a try then. I gotta watch that, and then I know like this Friday a new Dragon Ball movie is coming out in theaters.
I think it's tomorrow. I think tomorrow, Friday. I think.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't caught up with this, so I'm like, I would definitely say the animation for that is a little different.
It looks cool. It looks like I mean, it's definitely not what the show looks like.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering, because I was like, I wonder why they chose, because it didn't look like exactly the same. But yeah, it's a little different. I don't know. When I was watching it like on trailers, it almost seemed like it was a little bit like stuttery. But again, that could just be from like a point of view of like the animation. I'm pretty sure like in the actual screen it will look seamless.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how it is. It's again, like a lot of times the movies aren't canon. So it's just like you don't even like, even if you don't watch the show, like you could just go and watch it and enjoy it.
People?
Yeah, like, but I don't know. Supposedly with the movie that came out before this, that one's actually canon, but like I don't know. Like you gotta wait for them to confirm it and see what they want to do with it. Because even for me, myself, like I've said it before, I hate the one reason I didn't watch it in the first place. I hate the animation style of Dragon Ball Super.
Oh yeah.
Like I just like the old Dragon Ball Z, like how like I told you before, like just like super defined, like muscular, like all this extra detail, and like even people have like. There's people who've taken like screenshots of Super and like reanimate, like not reanimate, but just like redrawn it as if it were Dragon Ball Z, and it looks so much better, so much better. And I wish that they did. If they would have did at least that, I would have been happy with it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times if you're gonna like reamp, I mean, especially as much as they did with Dragon Ball, if you're gonna do like a recreation of something or anything, like I would say more of it be so if you're going to recreate like a show that, you know, has been out for a while and people have seen before and they've loved, and you're making it again, throw out some like examples just to see what people will like, you know, before doing it. Like, oh, draw it like this or draw it like that. And whatever people kind of like more, just go with it rather than just, you know, throw something out there and then you keep it and then people are still just like, bro, this shit's ass. Like, why we have this?
Yeah. I'm trying to find you an example, but it's like, all right, this isn't what I was talking about. Like this is something completely different, but these are actual screenshots and screen like I don't know, like parts of the show.
Yeah, that does.
Which one do you think came out in 1995, and which one do you think came out in 2015?
Yeah, I could tell. That just looks super colorful.
So much more definition in the top one.
Yeah.
Why is that missing? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
It's so bad, and it makes me so upset because, like,
If you like Definition and the way, you know,
yeah, and then this is the new one.
yeah, that's why I was like, it's a little bit different. Yeah, if you like Definition, the way, you know, characters' muscles pop out, you're definitely like watching JoJo.
Yeah,
uh, I think until after season 3. After season 3, they cut out that a lot about that.
yeah.
They make him slimmer.
Or even this. This is screenshots from Super, and somebody drew it as if it were Dragon Ball Z,
Oh, okay.
and it doesn't look
Yeah.
as cartoony. Like, I don't know. It's just better for me. Maybe it's because that's what I grew up with. But I just feel like
No,
they
yeah, I
dropped the
mean,
ball there.
no, I agree. Like it's like that same idea where they decided to do that whole SpongeBob where they made it like
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
whole like clay kind of almost in a way, like, and it's just like why? Like I get it, you trying to like make kind of like almost a new generation, but everybody's trying to add like this whole like, oh, they're like little kids now, and they're trying to like make it seem like it's for kids, so they
hmm
do that. But it's
You
like,
just
bro,
make a new thing. Like,
yeah,
don't just reboot like everybody else.
yeah, don't reboot it. But then when you reboot, make it even worse by like changing animation, changing
Yeah.
cast, like the voice actors and all that stuff. It's like, bro, you're just making it worse, bro. I'm telling you.
Even like something I noticed as well after, like, I haven't watched the Z in a while, but after seeing certain clips, I'm like, yeah, like this is actually like a valid point where it's like in Super, like Goku is just such an airhead and like he's comical, like it's funny. But it's like in Z or like GT and shit, like he used to like be dead serious at times or like talk shit. And it's like you need that balance. Like there needs to be points like, yo, like you just socked my son. I'm gonna be mad as shit. And that's how he used to be. And this one he'll be like, oh, like he'll be watching Gohan get his ass being super and he'll be like, yeah, like he needs that. keep going.
Discipline. We're teaching.
Yeah.
We're teaching the kids at home. Don't get in the fights you know you can't handle.
Or it's just like super lighthearted. It's like, yo, like, and then if you ever watch Super, I'll ask you about it. But one thing that was like a big deal, or like where the show has left off as the Tournament of Power,
I
where
think I know what you're talking
where
about.
it's just like this whole tournament and everybody, like all these universes are fighting against each other to basically survive. Like whatever universe loses, they're all getting wiped out. And it's like a big arc in the show. And like there's a lot of new transformations, you get introduced to a lot of new characters, and like a lot happens. And it's very like it's a great arc or whatever. But for me, it's not even my favorite in that when I was watching the show, like there's a part where I remember I told you Goku Black. That arc is way better to me. Like in that part of the show, that's like the first time. Like I feel like I'm so confused with it, where it's just like they're so lighthearted and they just choose when to sprinkle in this shit. Because in that part, Goku finds out that like something happened to Chi Chi and Goten, and he spazzes. Like he's like, yo, like I'm gonna make you pay. Like I'm gonna murder you. Like he gets angry, and the animation style goes stupid, way more than any other type part of the show, in my opinion. And I'm just watching like, yo, like I'm getting like chills watching this shit. And then I watch all this other stuff. I'm like, yo, like they're just goofy as fuck. Like I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, I love like what you're explaining. I love that too, and like you know animes, and because it's like again like a lot of the times you know you watch it, it's like it's sketching, you know, it's cartoon. So a lot of the times you feel like they can't really like display that as far as like an animation style. Maybe if it was like a manga, you know, they can just you know draw. That's it. But to do like a whole animation for it, I guess they feel like they just keep it all just them all looking the same and not like showing that much. But yeah, I love when they do that because like I just watched Bleach and there was an episode where they're getting it's getting to the part you know where there's an evil group, you know, like the Akatsuki and all that. Like it's kind of like that right now in Bleach where I'm at, and it's really tough. I really love it, and one of the people in the group fight one of them, and literally as they basically killed each other in a way. And they have this thing where the rest of them, you know, they can obviously feel their like presence, their pressure, you know, their power. So,
Power level.
exactly. So when they felt it go away, you know, the one guy felt like one guy was fighting another one and he felt it. And the other one, like the person he was fighting got like an information that, oh, you know, they both died. So when he told, you know, told him about it, he was just like, oh, your friend's dead. And he went and like attacked them. And he was like, didn't I tell you, you know, your regular moves won't work. Out of nowhere, he just got like fierce and just like charged up, and I was just like, oh my god, like that shit like really hit me because I'm like, bro, like that's what you need to see. Like if someone tells you your friend's dead, like you gotta go off.
Spaz,
like don't go inside, just be like, no, like how could you? Like no, like you spaz out, like bro. And that when I saw that, I was like, damn, bro, like that shit was crazy. Like I wish he would. Like after that, he just kind of like went back regular. But like if he would have kept that like same feel, that shit would have been crazy.
Yeah. So like that's what I miss a lot of him. Like that's for me personally so far. I know that they said that the show's coming back like in 2023, but it's like that was my favorite like aspect of the show because it was just like a lot more deeper shit was happening where it was like the world, like the city was wiped out and shit like in that point. But like as soon as he said like, oh, like he just started, you know, like villains, they started talking shit. It's like, oh, he was like, oh, like you should have seen the look on your face and your son's face. And he was just like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when he just starts twitching and you see his fucking hair start tweaking out and shit because he's about to transform and shit. And it's like, damn, like, all right, he really feel this shit.
Yeah, bro, because like you said, like if someone told me that shit about like my friend or something about like my wife, my kid, like, bro, if I had powers, bro, them shits would start going crazy too, out of whack too. Like I ain't holding back.
Yeah. You ever watch Baki?
No.
Have you like?
I've heard, I know about it. I just never watched it. Yeah.
Like so, I finished My Hero. I finished my Hunter x Hunter, like the '90s one. So I've tried to find something that I could watch in between before I go back into watch the new Hunter x Hunter. So I watched the first season of One Punch Man, and I'm about to watch the second one, and I like that. But while I'll exercise, I put on like the first couple episodes of Baki. I'm like 10 episodes in, and I don't like it at all.
I've heard a lot of like I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. I know there's like 2 different versions. I think on Netflix. There's like
on Netflix itself, there's Baki, and then there's Baki Hanma, and that's just the main character's name. The main character's name is Baki, and his full name is Baki Hanma. So Baki is first, and then Baki no Hanma, or Baki Hanma is the like I guess right after that, like the Shippuden.
Okay.
But even then, before that, so before the Netflix versions, there's Baki the Grappler that came out like in 2001, and that's like the OG like Baki.
The Grappler.
But supposedly like they're not really like you can watch them kind of like whenever, and you'll be kind of cool. Like supposedly the one that's on Netflix took place like literally like right after Baki the Grappler ended, like 20 years before. But I just watched Baki because it was what's on Netflix, and like I'm 10 episodes in, and it's just like I will say that, so like I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's just not what I was looking for. Like it's a martial arts type of thing where it's just like everybody's just fighting or whatever, and it's just these people who just there's no superpowers, no nothing. These people are just fucking jacked. They just like specimens of like just exercise and karate and like whatever martial arts that they do, and they're just really really good at what they do. Cool, but it's like 10 episodes in, it's like, yo, like I don't even know what we're fighting about, you know, plot. It's none of that. It's just if you want to sit down and be like, fuck it, I just want to see people fight and like not really care about anything else. Like, I just want to like turn my brain off and not really pay attention. It's a cool show for that. But if you're looking for a show where it's like Demon Slayer or like My Hero or like Bleach maybe, where it's just like they're fighting with a heavy plot in mind, you're not getting that. Like I'm just like in my head, I'm like, yo, like do I want to keep going through this? Because there's like, it's not seasons, it's parts. Where there's 3 parts and they each have like 13, 12 episodes. And it's just like, I'm 10 episodes in through the first part and I really don't feel like anything's happening. Do I want to keep going through this? And like, I'm contemplating just finishing this first part and just leaving it. Because it's just like, I'm not entertained. Like, and then even the fight scenes, like you would think it's like, oh, like if I'm watching this for fighting scenes, because I'm not going to act like Dragon Ball is just super like plot heavy.
No, yeah.
Like it's just a bunch of people having super power ups every couple episodes. Like it's not super deep, but at least for me, like I can enjoy it because I don't know, it's funny to me, and like, I feel like there's a nostalgia to it.
Nostalgia, but I feel like there's also like that sense of like power, you know, because you said it's just no powers, it's just people just fighting, just being jacked, and just doing regular moves. I guess I don't know,
but I just enjoy it a little bit more, and I can get into it more. But Baki is just like these guys are super jacked, they're fighting, and like they mentioned something in the beginning where like there's a purpose. But it's just like, it gets lost.
You don't feel like it stays.
Yeah. So, like, these dudes are just built out. And I haven't even seen the guy Baki fight. I'm 10 episodes in, bro. Like, people have come and countered him. and then somebody comes in and just buds in the fight.
Interesting.
Like, bro, like how you gonna have the main character not do anything relevant for 10 episodes? He's just been in the room.
Just watching.
Yeah, dead ass.
Just literally watching. Yes.
So like today, like I watched an episode today, and literally, so the whole purpose of it right now is that there's like this guy who's like a fight organizer. Like there's underground fighting, and then there's obviously like boxing and shit that we see like on UFC, like that type of shit. But there's underground fighters, and he's an organizer. So he's like, yo, like it says it's picking up since the old show. It's like, yo, like all of you won my last tournament. I'm doing a new one with all the winners. Like, go at it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, like this time it's like, it's not at a certain date or time. It's just any time somebody could say, I want to run hands. Like, it don't matter what you're doing. You could be taking a shit. You could be like with a girl. It don't matter. Like, you got to throw hands whenever, and it's fair. There's no rules. So something had happened. All these guys are like meeting in a room. This one big ass buff dude walks in. He's like the American. And he just starts like about to act like he's about to fuck them all up. And somebody comes behind who like was following him, lights his ass on fire. The guy came in with a bucket of gasoline trying to burn down the dojo. Guy comes behind, spills the bucket on him, lights him on fire. He burns for like a good 5 minutes. Blisters and shit all over him. And we're like, oh, like they're like, oh, like he's down, like let's call an ambulance. Like he lost his fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gets up, blister all over his body, and just starts throwing hands. Starts becoming a problem.
Spoken like a true American.
Yeah, like
it's like that story you said about the lady trying to burn his house down.
Yeah.
Spoken like a true American. We get burned, we get right back up.
And it's just like shit like that. It was like where even in Dragon Ball, it's like, all right, they went through this crazy fight. And at least even after they go through that, like you can tell, like, all right, like he exhausted all his energy. He's down. The fight's over. Every time where you think like, all right, he gotta be dead. Kids just keep coming back up. And at least in something like Dragon Ball, they have like this super, like they're Saiyans, so they have this super beyond human strength and powers that we can't even comprehend.
But for them,
they're just regular ass dudes who go to the gym. And they just, yo, I'm not lying to you. There was a fight where they like, Baki was out with his girl, and obviously they said like anytime, any place. So he was with his girl and he felt the bull behind him. So he like gave his girl a hug and was like ready to like push her away because he blocked eyes with bull and was ready to fight. Another bull comes in, interrupts the fight. Still haven't seen Baki fight. They're going through this crazy ass fight. This bull big as shit, strips his clothes off. He just has like a thong on. They start going at it, right? And he tries punching them, breaking legs. The one bull, the bull that was wearing the thong, he got shot in both his knees and his feet. And still got up and kept fighting. Regular ass dude.
Yeah, that's unrealistic.
Yeah, so they started fighting. They started breaking glass on each other, like nasty ass fight. Then the guy who got shot in both legs and everything, he's winning. The other guy just getting punched and kicked. The guy who got shot is winning. And he has him down. It's like in a park, so there's like street lights or like whatever the fuck those are called. There's like trash cans around. So the guy on the ground, he's just like, oh, like, give up. And he's like, psych, throws a trash can at him. He takes some of the bullets, right? And the guy's like, oh, like he punches him, whatever. His mouth is open. He takes the bullets, puts them in his mouth, cover his mouth, uppercuts him. The bullets go off in his mouth.
What the fuck is happening?
Bullets go off in his mouth. And you got to think he's dead, right?
I gotta think, shit, it should be.
Right? So, that happens. He has holes in the side of his mouth. Like, just open. Here's fine. Holes. Okay? He, like, keeps fighting.
And this is the guy that got shot?
Yes. In both his legs. Both his feet and his knees. Holes in the side of his mouth that exploded from the inside. Still fighting. Now, I'm kind of forgetting like what the sequence of events after this, but they keep fighting. The guy who got shot and has holes in his mouth ends up winning. They capture him, take him to like a police headquarters or whatever, because he's also like, although he wins in the underground or whatever, he's a big deal. He like is a criminal like in real society. So they're about to take him in. They have him in handcuffs like in the car. They hand him over. Then the guy who like
And he couldn't get out of those handcuffs? Or?
no.
Oh, that's the only real
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, yeah,
That's the
yeah.
only real thing? Okay.
So
That's where you draw the line.
yeah. So the guy who like got shot in his legs or whatever and all this stuff, and he's obviously all beat up. He hands him over. The police are like, "Thank you," or whatever. But the chief is like, "Hey, like you're pretty fucked up. Let's take you to a hospital." Like, and he's telling the ambulance like, "Yo, like give him best treatment. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I'll cover it." Like he just captured a criminal. Like, give him the best. Give him the best treatment. He gets in the car. They drive off for like 2 inches or like 2 feet. Car stops.
I just don't even know what's going on to tell me, bro.
Guy with hole in his mouth and all that stuff looks back. All the people he just talked to are down and dead. And you don't want to know why the car stopped?
What?
The guy who lost is picking up the car and not letting it pull off. He got out.
Wow.
Then they like, I think what happened, like they fight again. Eventually he ends up actually losing, but he's not dead.
Got it.
And he gets taken to like the doctor or whatever. And he gets treatment. The guy is like unbelievably like built. Like it just makes sense that he was picking up a car. Like it's not that part not unbelievable. But now that he's like down, he like lost all his muscles. And then it turns out like that guy was like 93 years old.
The biggest plot.
Yeah, like supposedly like there was like this thing where like there was an old like teaching or whatever that you can like maintain your youth. Some weird shit.
Found the youth.
Because like supposedly there was like another story before that where like some rich guy was doing it where like it was like this guy who was like in his 40s, super built, super rich, had a wife and everything was cool. And he died at old age when he was like 40. Come to find out he was actually like in his 90s or some shit. But yeah, that was just one episode. And like when like obviously like it's entertaining in a way, like it's funny to like watch. But it's just so like unbelievable. That guy, the American that got burnt, he has this move where he plucks a thing in his beard, blows on it, it turns into a needle, and it's like I can like pierce your eye.
Man, the way you were explaining that just reminded me of just something like, I don't know if I'm getting this right. If it was like Soulja Boy when he was like explaining, like he was like,
"Oh yeah," he's like, "I pull him out the Western window."
Jump out. No, that's exactly the way you were explaining. It just felt like as if you were trying to be that person in the story. You're just explaining like, "Yeah, bro. So I did that, and I couldn't let him strap up. I couldn't let him come up to me like that." That's literally how you were explaining.
Yeah, and it's just so over the top. There's this one guy where like, I don't know, I'm confusing some of the characters, but there's this one guy where like he punches, right? But he punches like this, where his knuckle out, like just one. And when he punches you, he doesn't really like, punch you. He like swipes at you, and it's like a knife. So like when he punches you with this knuckle, it's like slicing people's faces open. There's this one boy, he looks mad, like drippy and tough. It's like this one boy, he wears like all black and like has like red hair. He looks sick, but I haven't seen him like that yet. Baki was in school, and obviously everybody else looks regular.
They're in school, got it.
No, just Baki.
I get that, but still, for someone being literally unbelievably buff.
So he's 17.
He's 7. Of course.
Yeah.
He's 17.
Everybody else is in like in their 30s and shit, or like their 20s.
Any anime, you got kids that are in high school for some reason doing the most dangerous stuff.
And he's like the grand champion and shit. He's like 17 years old. That happened in the previous show. So obviously he looks like buff as shit, but everybody looks regular because he's the main character. And even when he was in gym class, like they failed him because he was like, they were doing like the long jump or like push-ups and shit. And he's so built that he was just breaking everything or like just doing it too fast. But the teacher was like coming at him, was like, "Oh, like you got to pay attention, da 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 da." It's like, you being buff isn't gonna save you. Like your mind is important too. It's like it's not like just basically saying that he needs to pay attention. Bull with the red hair just comes somersaulting through the window of the school, and they're on like the 4th floor. And then so all that's happening, and then he's just like, "Oh fuck," and Baki's like, "Damn, like I can't fight him here." Like, so he jumps out the 4th-story window and just walks off.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the CGI shit in Baki, I'm just not a fan of, and I don't get why they decided to do that. Like, I feel like it probably cost more money to do, and it just didn't help.
Yeah, I don't know why. It doesn't even look right, like you said. It just kind of looks out of place. It just throws it off. Like from watching everything, just kind of the same animation, then just popping that out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Weird.
but I think that's enough since our cameras are going out on us. So, uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Mark, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Marky Mark, Twitter at Marky Mark, Twitch at Marky Mark as well. Victor, where can they find you and all your amazing stories about Baki?
You can find me watching Baki at ETC Victor, and the center is at Real Etc. But yeah, I'll keep these up. I'll update you, and I'll get back to you on how things are going in Baki. I'm gonna try and refresh some of the older stuff too, so I can tell you more about it when I bring it back up. But yeah, we love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.